And let me tell you a bit of a story about myself, because people say, hey, Harley, you give this advice, but did you take it? So I did this myself. In 2003, I thought I want to go over to Europe and see how I would go as a pro cyclist or an amateur cyclist or a pro cyclist wannabe. So I packed all my stuff, moved out of my apartment, cashed in, quit my job, everything, put all my life savings on the line, bought myself a one-way ticket to Germany, to Frankfurt, because that was the cheapest place to go. And I thought, I can land in Frankfurt, I can ride anywhere. So I remember landing in the Frankfurt airport that early that morning, 6, 7 a.m., got out as cold as fuck, just had a backpack and my race bike. It was an Avanti Team Corsa, Columbus airplane tubing with the Columbus muscle rear stay, and Mavic Seriums Durace 7700 9-speed. And no power meter back then, just the old school Shimano flight deck. And so I rode around 90 Ks that day, just looking for a cycling team, a club, because it's just like football over here, like AFL rules. You can, if you're half good, someone will pick you up. So I took 90 Ks, ride around in sneakers. Finally found one shop. He said, go to that shop, and just passed me around. Eventually I found a shop in Sossenheim. But the guy who owned the shop, Marcus Intra, a really nice guy. He said, no worries. Where are you staying? I said, I'm staying at a youth hostel. I'm sleeping on the floor of the youth hostel. And he goes, no worries, that's good. It's character building. And he sort of got it. And I slept on the floor of the youth hostel. Eventually I couldn't afford that, so I would just camp out. And it was quite cold back then. So I'd camp out every night in the bushes. Eventually he said, hey, you can come and stay with me. I stayed with him a couple of nights. And he says, as payment, you can clean bikes in my bike shop. And I said, no worries. And I'd clean the floor, I'd clean bikes. I did whatever it took. And after a few days, he goes, I found you a little contract with a team in Belgium. Now, you got to be here tomorrow or whatever it was, and to meet this guy in this pub. All right, his name is Willy van der Ecke. And so I had 24 hours to get there. So I looked online, not online. So I went to the train station. This is before online was really happening. Back then, if you had a laptop, you had a lot of money. And so I went over to the train station and looked at the cheapest way to get there. It wasn't bus, it was train. And I thought, if I catch the train maybe 200 Ks short of my destination, I'm going to save more euros. And so I did that. So I caught the train to a spot called Namur, and then, or maybe it's Mechelen, Maastricht, Hasselt, one of those towns. Anyway, so I can. And so then I hitched a ride on my bike, riding my bike, saving money to ride my bike. And it worked out to be cheaper for me to ride my bike than to get a train fare. I could spend the money on food instead of a train fare and food. So I rode there, camped out in the bushes, and this Willie guy said, where'd you sleep last night? I said, I camped out in the bushes. He's like, what? You camped? I said, he goes, where are you going to stay? So I'm just going to camp out. And I showed him he goes, no. And I said, yeah. And I showed him my camping equipment. And he's like, man. And so he goes, all right, tonight we'll find you a house. So he found me a place with a guy called Wayne, and stayed with Wayne for many months, and I was grateful for that. Had some sort of run-ins with his family in the end because his wife was a smoker, blah, blah, blah. But either way, I was grateful for it all. I had some really good times, but I just put it all out on the line. I was dead homeless. I was dead dedicated. I was pretty shit right, I'll be honest with you. I had some good VO2 max. I could climb all right. But my bunch skills and those Belgian camises, I really, 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 really suffered. And I would just get spat at the back again and again and again. Unless it was a pretty non-technical course and I'd sort of be pack filler. Otherwise, I was just getting spat every fucking race. I went to the wrong place. I should have gone to Italy or something like that. But pro cycling is a lot more hardcore than martial arts. It's way more hardcore because you have to have such good conditioning and just you got so much luck and bad luck and flat tires and all this stuff. And so anyway, but I walk my talk. And the advice I give is based on my own personal experience. And that, my friends, is what you got to do. So, most of the people who become pro cyclists, they're rich kids. They go through the Institute of Sport program. And that's totally, totally, totally fine. But the other way to do it is the hard way. And get all your money you got and go to fucking Belgium or Italy or Spain or France even. And just bust your nut and just cross your fingers someone notices you. And in pro cycling, there's so much competition. But, because the fitness level is just so fucking high and the drugs are so rampant. But, something like BJJ, man, you could be full natural because the weight classes, etc., and you could totally do it, man. You could totally crush it. Full natty bra, just hard work and dedication. You can totally do it. And so, but not many people want to really put that dedication in. People want to talk about it like, yeah, I've got this goal. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. But I need more money. It's like, no. Money doesn't come into the equation. If you have a US passport, money's not an issue. Money's not an issue because you can always come back to US for competitions. But if you go offshore for training, like I said, Thailand, Cuba, or Brazil, then that's when you're going to get that best training and that best lifestyle. It's super cheap. You can clean toilets, you can clean floors, and they'll just love you. They'll show dedication. If you're a foreigner going back to these countries, they'll see that level of dedication, and you will stand out from the crowd, my friend. You surely will. So you don't need handouts. You need to hand yourself the letter of discipline and dedication and hard work, and you got to understand and personify that getting it fucking done is the only way forward in your situation. Otherwise, you're going to miss your opportunity. You're going to keep doing night shift. You're going to get some young lady pregnant real soon, and you're going to be stuck in that grind that most Australians and Americans and Europeans are stuck in especially most people in the world. And the young guy meets a young girl, he gets horny, he satisfies his sexual desires, she pops out a baby, and then he's locked down, or she's locked down, they're both locked down, that financial burden of raising a child in a unstable economy of every fucking nation. So get that vasectomy, get that mouth guard, hit the Brazil, quit that fucking job, that testosterone depleting night shift job, and get the fuck out of the US, get to Brazil, get on the next flight. It takes maybe a week to a few days to wrap up your finances, wrap everything up, and get the fuck out of there and make it fucking happen, and just live the fucking dream, man. Live the adventure and get it fucking done. And YouTube that shit. Can you imagine people that YouTube? People that, holy shit, here's a real motherfucker who's quit the US and he's gone to Brazil with no chance of failure. Failure is not an option. He's gone there to succeed, and he'll not leave in the next 1 year, 10 years, or 20 years until he has reached his goal. Now that, my friend, is something that I would even subscribe to, and I would motherfucking watch. Think about it. So I'm 6'4". I'm about 90 kilos. 6'4", 90 kilos. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Someone's asked me how to be a Brazilian world champion, BJJ. Not a Brazilian wax champion, but a BJJ champion. Alright, so we've got a question here from someone in the US. Let me just scratch my nose and read this out for you guys. Hi, durianrider. I'm 24 years old, been vegan for a year, and want to start a YouTube channel on health and other like jiu-jitsu. My dream one day is to train every day, all day, and take over the competition scene representing the vegan lifestyle, doing what I love. I am currently working from 10 a.m. midnight to 10. So I'm working from midnight to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday, working at UPS as a package handler. The only reason I'm staying is because I need the dollars. I need to hustle a motherfucking cash. He needs to get on the Can you pass me Bitcoin Cat? Bubbles? Bitcoin Cat. Thank you. He's only saying he needs the money. This sounds like a little thing for Bitcoin Cat. This is Bitcoin Cat, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin Cat, help me get swole. And Bitcoin Cat can get you a swole bank account too. I'm trying to take this too seriously. He's saying because he needs the money. He doesn't have time to train because he's putting money before training. And he wants to be a pro. Okay. And by the time I wake up and eat to fuel, it's time for work again. Wow. He can't work because he can't train because he's got to go to work. To fuel what? To fuel what? I don't understand. Please, anything will help. So I'm going to give Durianrider's tough love advice, and Bitcoin Cat is going to give you some tough love as well, my BJJ friend. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So the first mistake, this guy's in the US. He's got to get out of the US, because when you're in the US or in Australia, you're paying too much living expenses. If you're so broke that you got to work 10 hours a day, 50 hours a week, just for a bowl of rice, and you don't have time to train, then you got to leave the US. You got to leave Australia. If you're into Muay Thai, you got to live in Thailand. You know, if you're into BJJ, you got to go to Brazil and live in one of the favelas down there. The favelas, that's like a slum. You know, and when I mean slum, I mean slumming it. You got to slum it, and you got to train with those BJJ guys, the best in the fucking world, and full natty bra. They're full natty bra until they get to a certain level and they can afford the gear. But you train with those full natty bra BJJ guys who've been training for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And that's how you're going to get better. You ain't going to get shit done if you're starting work at midnight. Your testosterone is going to be like, boom. It's going to be, boom. Drop, man. You're having those late nights, your testosterone, you need tea, bro. You need to be on the tee and do that naturally by going to bed early, man. So go down to Brazil, get yourself a little hot Brazilian babe with a Brazilian bikini wax. Get a vasectomy, because I was going to be squirting some kids out pretty soon. So get a vasectomy, go down to Brazil, get yourself a Brazilian babe, and train BJJ 10 hours a day. And live in the slums, man. Live in the slums. Clean toilets for $2 a day at the local BJJ gym. And do that for 10 years, then come back to the US and wiping the motherfucking floor. All these BJJ wannabes drinking beer, getting pissed, smoking weed. You're going to come in with a VO2 max and do running as well. Just do running. Up the hills. Running up the hills, walk down the hills. You can do it barefoot. You don't even need shoes. You can even make some thongs, some flip-flops, and just use sticky tape around your heel for the fasciitis prevention. Just run up and walk back down. And that's how you're going to do it, bro. So I could give you $100,000 for my Bitcoin profits, and Bitcoin Cat would probably disagree with that. So that's it. Bitcoin Cat says no. So I won't do that. I won't give you $100,000 like I was going to, like we promised. But I would recommend going down to Brazil, being homeless, keeping it real, motherfucker. Keeping it real. Get out of this air-conditioned gym bullshit in the US or Australia. If you're into Muay Thai, you got to go to Thailand. If you're into boxing, you got to go to Cuba. If you're into BJJ, you got to go to fucking Brazil. And you got to train in the full levels. Have street fights. You get a mouth guard, save on dental fees, and do those street fights. Have street fights every night for a couple of bucks here and there. And that will make you hard case as a motherfucker. That'll make you hard case as a motherfucker. And that's how to be a BJJ. That's how I got my black belt in BJJ, was just training with those guys, man. So, but all trolling aside, that's what you got to do, man, and that builds character. All right, working. What are you doing, man? Night shift, and you want to be an athlete? Oh man, come on. That shit kills. Night shift kills testosterone. Now, it took me many years to work that out. I used to do night shift. Night shift kills testosterone levels in men, and it kills testosterone levels in women. Now, obviously, you're shooting up test or taking pills, then it will counterbalance that a bit. But still, late nights kill testosterone. You'll be more anemic, you'll recover less, you won't feel as good, and you'll just be corralled around, all right? Night shift kills testosterone. If you want to be a good BJJ athlete, you need high test, man. High test, that aggression, that speed, that agility, that power, that strength, that recovery, that high red blood cell volume. That's what you need as BJJ. So that's how to be a BJJ world champion. Go to Brazil, and don't spend any money on training. If you have to pay for training, you're in the wrong place. You want to have someone who sees your dedication, sees your passion, and says, brother, come in here. You're going to clean the diarrhea off the toilets. You're going to sleep on the floor. You're going to wash it 3 times a day. We'll train you for free. Don't worry about that. I'll see the dedication in your eyes. We're going to run up the hills. We're going to have fights every few days in the slums. Organized fights. Get a mouth guard for $2. Save you a lot of dental fees. That's all you need, man. $2 for your mouth guard. The rest, just leave up to fate and destiny. And that, my friend, is how you're going to be BJJ World Championship holder. But it's not even about that. Because you could win the BJJ World Champs in your weight division, but you could be a total tosser who's living off mummy and daddy's money or whatever, and have no real life experiences. Or you might not be world champion, but you've fought in the slums for 10, 20 years. You've dedicated yourself to the martial arts of BJJ, and now you've become a new person. Think about it.